everyone. Welcome back to Serving 813, a radio show and podcast featuring Tampa Bay organizations and groups every Tuesday from 5 to 6 p.m. We're your hosts, Ava Lamison
and Lily Nisley.
And today we are super excited and lucky to be joined with one of the faces and voices behind the Hive.
Now, if you don't already know, the Hive is a nonprofit organization that exists to foster inclusive housing developments for adults in Tampa with disabilities, where every member can grow, find purpose, and thrive.
So with that said, welcome to the show, Tanya Whitlock.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.
We're so happy to have you on the show today. So I'd like to start this podcast off by asking, on a deeper level, what is the Hive all about?
So the mission of the Hive is to create the first truly inclusive, affordable, accessible housing development in Tampa area. So 50% of the members would be individuals with disabilities, but the other 50% would be other populations that would benefit from the supports that we're going to have in place. So young people transitioning out of foster care, the elderly, and our veterans all would make it a multi-generational space of inclusion.
Okay, so you said that in Tampa that you have this. Is there anywhere? My next question was, what role does the Hive play with the 813 and beyond? So are you guys just Tampa based, or is there more?
So right now, we have programming that is just mostly in the Hillsborough County area. Yeah. And we are looking for land, so we do not have that development. That is the main mission of the Hive. But until we get the development, we decided to build our community. And so we offer support groups and instructor-led classes, also that are all inclusive for individuals in the Hillsborough County area.
Yeah, that's a good cause, because I know it's just good to focus on your home area too, and just improve where you live and where you see you're making a real impact in your community, and you can see it and everyone around you can get the benefits of that.
No, absolutely. And there is a major need for to have a housing development like this in Tampa. Tampa is considered one of the most innovative cities, right, in our country. And so I think that innovation needs to also include housing.
Yes, totally. And you guys are a fairly new nonprofit organization starting in 2022, right?
Yeah, 2021, actually, December. Okay. So we just turned 4. So, yeah.
Wow. Well, happy birthday. So can you tell us more about the history of the Hive and how did it all start?
Yeah. So I have a 31-year-old son who has cerebral palsy. He uses an iPad to communicate, and he uses a wheelchair for mobility. He's one of the oldest of 5 kids, and he has seen his siblings leave our home and gain independence and gain community, and he desperately wants that for himself. He doesn't want to live in a group home, which is a residential home in anyone's neighborhood that just houses individuals with disabilities. And he doesn't want to live in a space, no matter how nice it is, that was made only for people with disabilities. He wants to live in real community. He wants to feel like he truly belongs. And that doesn't exist right now in Florida, really. In 2021, actually 2019 is when he started getting really serious about finding a space to live. And at that point, we couldn't find anything, like I said, in Florida. We did find an amazing space in Maryland, and we went there and did the tours and just kind of seen how they ran their development. We also found a space in Arizona and a space in California. But of course, we're not going to send our loved one all the way out of state. And so we realized that it wasn't just our family that was looking for this space of independence, that there were so many other families and individuals with disabilities who wanted a space to call home that was safe with supports in place. And so we decided to create it since it wasn't available.
Wow, yeah. That's so valid for him to want to live somewhere that's close to home that can fulfill his needs, but not be a group home, like you said. Sorry. Yeah, so that's great that you guys are fulfilling that here in Tampa, because you said they have it in Maryland and those other places. That's great to be bringing it to our community. And then obviously we're serving 813. So my next question is, what are some of the volunteer opportunities that the Hive provides?
So many. So we actually just had a Run for Your Honey 5K and 1 Mile Fun Walk Run. And we monthly have movie days and like gardening activities or art activities where people can come and join us. And actually volunteering with the Hive looks just like being community. So coming in and painting with us, gardening with us, going to the movies with us, and supporting in that way is amazing. We also have our biggest fundraiser is June 20th. It's a fashion show. It's called the Beauty of Inclusion Fashion Show, and we have designers with and without disabilities and models with and without disabilities. And it's just a showcase of what it looks like when a community truly does have a full inclusion. And it's beautiful, and it's an amazing night. And we need lots of volunteers for that night in our VIP area, just letting people know where different things are, volunteers with hair and makeup, volunteers for social media. So like there's so many opportunities to volunteer with us.
Yeah, this doesn't even sound like volunteering. This just sounds like fun, honestly. Like gardening, painting, fashion show, like that just sounds like a really fun time. So yeah, honestly, I'm interested. I know a lot of people will be too.
Yeah, and I like how it checks all the boxes. I mean, you're not just like, oh, doing one thing. I mean, you have a plethora of like, you can run for honey if you're an exercise person, if you're a fashion icon, there's artist. A fashion show. Like, oh, wow. Well, we're already done with this segment. This show's flying by already. So don't go anywhere because we're going to play a song and we'll be back after this break.
And we're back. Welcome back to Serving 813. Make sure to tune into live365.com every Tuesday from 5 to 6 p.m. if you want to find ways to serve your community. Now, if you're just joining us, I'm one of your hosts, Lily Nisley, and we're here with Tanya Whitlock from the Hive.
So for this segment, we want to talk more about you, Tanya, and your role within the Hive. So you are the founder and president of the Hive. So can you touch on what your role consists of and more of why you think inclusive housing is so important?
Yeah. So, one, my main role was to build the nonprofit. And so I think one of the hardest things was finding my board and just, I'm a nurse by profession. I've been a nurse for 24 years. And so it was very intimidating starting this nonprofit. Just one, I don't have affordable housing experience. I didn't have any business experience. And so I did jump in and just start taking as many classes as I possibly could just to start learning. But I also knew that like I wasn't going to be able to do it all and do it well. And so really finding board members that carry the expertise that I knew we would need, the Hive would need to move forward, was a really important foundational part of what we did. And so I have an amazing board of 11 people. All of them have different specialties. And again, they're all areas that represent fully our community. We have individuals with disabilities that are part of our leadership. Our vice president has a disability. And then we also have, a lawyer and a housing expert and realtors and all the things. And so the board was a big part of it. Also, just looking at our goal of, our hashtag is Thrive with Hive. And so what does that mean? And I knew that as a person, as a caregiver, I'm a witness to people with disabilities, but I don't have lived experience. And so it was really important to me to not be an organization that was caregiver ran, but to be an ally and to really ensure that we were moving within the voice of disability. And so we built an advocacy team of 8 individuals with disabilities that are advocates for us. And also every space that we have, from our social media to our grant writing, our fundraising, they all have individuals with disabilities within those spaces to ensure that we truly are allies and we truly are creating a space that is disability-led and disability-focused, and really that the disability community would truly feel like we are allies and that we basically understand the assignment of what needs to be done. And so,
Wow.
so yeah, that's kind of the foundation, is just like making sure, building up all those areas. And again, now we have an amazing team in every single one of those places. They're all volunteers, which just blows my mind that people are willing to weekly show up for nothing and pour into this community. But like our social media team and our grant writing team and our fundraising team, they have truly helped to like build up what you guys see when you go on our social media as the Hive.
That's just like amazing. Like you just had this goal that you wanted to fulfill, and like you just weren't, and like all you had to do was go out into the community and find that other people had the same goal as you, and then you guys just like came together. And like also just saying about how they're all volunteers. We've had people say this before, how like volunteering is like the most fulfilling thing you can do. So it's like, it's not even like working, like it's just like you're getting equal fulfillment out from like helping people as like you're getting like the same help like internally, just like from being fulfilled, because it's like, so I don't know, to help the community, it's like it's such a good feeling.
Yeah.
Okay, so our next question is, what does a typical day working with the Hive look like?
So what does my typical day in
your
life look like?
day.
So my day is a little wild because I am also still working my full-time job as a nurse.
Oh, wow.
And so my typical day looks like I get up at 6 o'clock. I have 3 amazing friends who get up and Zoom with me Monday through Friday, and we have prayer time together, and we talk about like the hard and the things that we're walking through. And so they're kind of if you've ever heard of iron sharpens the iron, they kind of really help me to stay focused on the big and purpose. And then after that, at 7 o'clock, I get up, I start getting ready. And almost all of my Zooms that I do for the Hive are either before I do my normal 8 to 5 job or after. So, for example, on Wednesdays, I meet with social media at 7:30 in the morning. And, so I meet with my social media team, and then we hop off, and then I work from 8 to 5. And then anything else after that, then I jump on the next Zoom after that. So
Wow.
On the weekends is when we have most of the Hive events. And so typically on a Sunday, we have our art classes and our gardening classes and things like that. So yeah, my day in the life and that's not even talking about my family life. So
Wow, you have a lot going on. Wow.
I do.
That
Yeah.
just shows like you're dedicated to it. You just make time because it's so important.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just a personal question, but how do you guys decide like what events to do with the Hive?
Yeah, so our events are very much driven by our community. And so areas that they have classes that they've asked us to put on, we do. Favorites are art and gardening and cooking. But, we had one member who absolutely loves the Muppets and wanted a puppeteer class. And we reached out to Jim Henson, and they actually connected us with a puppeteer on Zoom. And so we were able to get a puppeteer class for him. So really, whatever our members want, like it's really important to us, again, that this is disability driven. We are doing classes that our members feel like they are thriving in, that they're growing in, that they're learning in. And so we want to make sure that what we're putting out there are things that not only they can be proud of, but we can be proud of. And so we make sure that they're that they're a part of every consideration of what we do. Our movie days that we now have, our members that are guys told me that I was too girl heavy on our programming, and I'm like, well, guys, I'm a girl, help me out. And so they decided that we needed to do movie days. And so that's where our once a month movie day came from, is the guys being like, we need to do something different. So.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That just shows like, yeah, you're just taking everyone's suggestions and just making it like the best it can be. But you said making them proud, making yourself proud. That was actually I was just wondering, like, what is your proudest moment with the Hive?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I have so many amazing moments, but I am just going to talk about one young lady. Her name is Rushi Pratap, and I met her pretty early in building the Hive. She wanted to be a designer, and I went to her house, and she was working as a seamstress, and she had the most beautiful creations that she already made for herself. And I knew that she clearly had the talent to be a designer. So we decided for the Hive's first fundraiser that we would have a fashion show to give Arushi a platform. And so, we had the fashion show. It was absolutely phenomenal. And then a couple of months afterwards, she was picked up by Tampa Fashion Week.
Oh my gosh.
And her designs walked Tampa Fashion Week. And then last year, her designs walked New York Fashion Week.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
insane.
Wait,
first,
whoa.
I mean, the Jim Henson puppeteer classes, I was shocked. But this New York Fashion Week, oh my.
That's actually crazy. Like that, she and now she'll say if someone asks this is where she started with you, wow, it just shows
So you guys aren't just providing housing, you are changing these people's lives, which is so incredible. So I guess leading into that, I wanted to ask, what does the Hive mean to you personally?
Yeah. So I kind of already spoke a little bit about my son, and just watching his desire to really just live a grown-up life, and to live a life that any adult would want to live. And so it means a lot to me knowing that I am building something that he desperately wants. And just as we started building our community, we have a caregivers support group that meets monthly. And, sitting with other caregivers, oftentimes, there are tears in the room. And one of the biggest concerns is, when we're gone, who's going to take over? Yeah. And for a lot of people with disabilities, many people with disabilities live at home with their caregivers. And so it's so important to me that we create something that's future-based, that I know that my son would be safe there, that I know that other people in our community would be safe. So it's very personal. And honestly, even though I've already talked about how busy my life is, seeing our members, meeting the caregivers, walking into my son's room every single day, it all gives me energy to just keep going and keep pushing and getting to that next.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's rewarding.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, I just wanted to ask, do you ever experience any challenges? Which I guess you already have explained, you're so busy. There's always something, I'm sure. So do you want to touch on that?
Yeah. So I honestly think my biggest challenge was starting out and feeling like I don't have what it takes. Right. Yeah. I didn't have a business background. I didn't have a famous last name or anybody. I didn't even know anybody with a famous last name. I didn't have money. I didn't have the resources. And so I just feel like the biggest hindrance was just questioning, can I really do it? And so I feel like that's been the most exciting also part of this journey for me, is realizing that when you feel like you're called to something, that taking action and moving forward, everything just comes. I mean, of course, it's been so many steps, little steps over the last 4 years, but I've just realized that just by putting yourself out there and believing in the purpose of what you're trying to do, it will get you to the next. And so but that has definitely been my biggest hindrance, is just doubt. But also now I feel like I can do anything.
That's I just got goosebumps. That's actually amazing. That just shows literally, if anyone has a goal or anything, all you have to do is just take the first step, and just little step after the next, and you can reach your goal. Because that is so amazing. After you just told us the story, the fashion week, I'm still thinking about that. That's so amazing.
And to think it was just the Hive's 4th birthday, and to see all these milestones you've achieved is really amazing. So I think that's a good high note to end on this segment. Wow, these shows always fly by, but don't go anywhere because we're going to have a little song break and we'll be back to answer your guys' DMs. And we're back. Welcome back to Serving 813. Make sure to tune into live365.com every Tuesday from 5 to 6 p.m. if you want to find ways to serve your community. If you're just joining us, I'm one of your hosts, Ava Lamison, and we're here with Tanya Whitlock from the Hive. So I put up an Instagram story the other day asking you guys listening to send in questions regarding the Hive, and just like always, we got a ton of responses, so I'm going to stop beating around the bush and let's get into it.
So the first DM asks, if you could describe the Hive in one word, what would it be?
So I feel like this is super easy. We would be a beehive. We are a beehive, right?
We
chose the name Hive. Actually, my oldest daughter helped us come up with the name because we were trying to think of a name that represented community, but it also showed that every single individual had purpose. And so she was like, oh, a beehive. And so
I didn't even think about now that I was like, I wasn't even thinking like where'd the Hive come from. I was like, oh yeah, the Hive. But now that makes total sense because like all the bees are like working together and stuff.
Exactly.
And, like, wow.
Yeah, and I feel like that's like the perfect like niche name, but yeah, it's like so, oh my gosh, yes, like the light bulb is like
and, like,
shining.
Bees are so like, I don't know, like they're like fun like on the flowers and stuff.
Yes,
like, wow.
and Tanya's the queen bee.
Oh my gosh. That's a good name. Okay, ask it.
Oh, sorry. The next DM asks, where do you see the Hive in 10 years' time, and what legacy do you hope to leave behind?
So in 10 years, I definitely see our development up and going. I didn't talk a lot about the development, but we do want to have a commercial space where we would have a coffee shop and a fitness center and a daycare and we really want it to be an inclusive space where Tampa can come in and take part in what we're doing. So I definitely see the development up. I see our members, again, thriving in that space. The legacy is the development. It is, again, creating this space where our members can what's called age in place. And so once they move in, if they want to, they can stay there and grow and, again, have all the supports that they need while they're in that space.
Yeah, and I can definitely see that happening. Do you ever hope to expand like out of the 813 Tampa region too?
So I, again, like starting this, it was extremely hard because it's not something that's really been done across our nation. And so I kept looking for like templates and looking for some other version that we could potentially use. The way that we are utilizing our the inclusive measure as far as the populations that I told you guys about, no one else has ever done before. And so as a nurse, like I absolutely love research, and I also know that research follows money. So we also want to be a research-based space for independence and inclusive living. And I really think that, one, we already know that when people are living in a space where they're supported mentally, emotionally, physically, all of their outcomes are going to be more positive. And we expect to be able to show that. And if that is, in fact, the case, then I would love to be able to create this research-based template for housing that other people could utilize.
Yeah, this is clearly just like a very unique organization. And yeah, it just keeps growing. So, and clearly like whatever you put your mind to, you can do. So honestly, can't wait to see that. But this next DM says, what are things that make the Hive different from other organizations? Which a lot of things we just talked about how unique it is, but.
Yeah. So I think that one is how inclusive it is, and we really want to continue to make it even more inclusive. And so, trying to make sure that all of our activities, everything that we do, everything that we offer, is, everyone is welcome to that. And so we have individuals with all different kinds of disabilities that come in, as well as people that don't have disabilities. And so I think that's one major unique portion of it. Also, I just really think that, again, it being fully disability-led, oftentimes organizations that are created by parents, it's more caregiver-led. And so I'm really proud of the fact that it's very much a disability-led space. With disability voices at the forefront of it.
Yeah, that's very unique. And clearly just like, I don't know, it just really fulfills the purpose of the organization, like on every level.
All right. The next DM says, what are the different B groups that the Hive has, and what are each of them?
Yeah, so
that was a very straight up question.
Yeah, so the B groups are our support groups. And so one is a group, entrepreneurs with disabilities, where we bring in entrepreneurs to talk about different areas that they want to grow in with their own businesses. Another group is our caregiving group that we meet once a month for all caregivers. And then the last one is a disability advocacy group that meets once a month on Zoom. And those are individuals with disability, again, that advocate and just want to come together. And, again, they kind of help guide the Hive in what we're doing, but also in supporting each other.
Wow, yeah. It's just very now I'm like, now that I know why it's called the Hive, I'm just thinking of like a beehive, and I'm just thinking of like, yeah, it's like the different compartments of like the hive all working together to make the honey.
Exactly.
Well, yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay. The next DM just says, where do I donate?
Yeah. So if you go on our website, which is theinclusivehive.org, you can donate right there. You can also volunteer there. And you can also sign up for our newsletter and just to get monthly updates and hear about what we're doing.
Yeah, and we'll put that in the description when we post the Instagram. So make sure to look at our Instagram to see that, and we'll at you guys, and you can get all the information.
Oh, yes. The next DM says, is the Hive open to all ages?
So we mostly focus on adults, and really students that are transitioning from high school. So about 16 years old and up is what most of our classes represent. And then up means no matter what age after that. So all adults.
Okay. Yeah. And this one, it says, how long does it usually take to build a home?
So to build a development, which,
Yeah.
so I haven't really talked about that. So we're looking at a development that has between 80 and 100 apartments.
Oh, wow.
So a large development. And that would take at least about 3 years to build once we have our land. And that's really been the hardest part of our search is the land. We've been looking for land in the Hillsborough County area, and we've been looking for land for the last 2 years. And so the land is so important because we really want it to be a place that's inclusive. So it can't be out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. It has to be really easy for our members to catch a bus to go to school or to the doctor. And also, again, really easy for the Tampa community to come in and visit. So from the time we get to the land to the development will be 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, my dad does he has rental properties that he rents out, and so he's always dealing with just stuff waiting on I don't really know how it works, but it's property laws or something he has to get passed, or when he's building new things he's always running into complications with it and stuff. I feel I don't know if it's especially in South Tampa there's always issues, but it just always seems there's problems with getting things built and getting things done with his properties. So yeah, I could definitely see how that could definitely take a while to get it done altogether, but it will take time, but it will be good in the end.
Okay, this next DM says, what are some of the job opportunities the Hive provides?
So once we actually have the development, then we definitely want to be a space where our members can work where they live. And so one of the coffee shops, if you guys have ever heard of CUP, Coffee Uniting People.
We just interviewed them.
Oh, I don't think I went to that one.
Yeah, but it was me and Kate. It was 2 weeks ago, actually. Shout out to you,
gosh.
Coffee Uniting People.
Absolutely. And so they hire mostly individuals with disabilities. And so we definitely would want a space like the CUP to be a part of the Hive. Also, all the areas that I mentioned before, the daycare, the fitness center, we would definitely want to be hired, people that are working there that live there in the complex. Also, we are working on creating the first neurodiverse dental lab training center.
Wow.
And that would also be housed in the Hive. And so it's very much not just about housing, but again, thriving. So being able to work where you live, being able to grow where you live.
Yeah. Wow.
Love it.
The future, wow. The Hive, I don't know, you guys have so many fun projects planned for the future, and it's so early, only 4 years in, who knows where you guys will be in I don't even know, a decade after. That's just going to be amazing to see. But this DM says, sorry, it says, I'm a student. Can I get involved with the Hive?
Yes, please.
Well, yes.
So
that's what Serving 813 is all about.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about volunteers, but definitely right there on our website, you can go on and fill out a contact form and just tell us you're interested in volunteering. And I will be the person that reaches out to you, and we'll do a Zoom and we'll talk about how you want to volunteer and get you involved.
Okay, yeah.
Amazing.
Whoever wrote that, yeah.
And do you guys have an Instagram handle?
At the Inclusive Hive. Actually, no. Yeah, it's at, and then the Inclusive Hive. So we're on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and also TikTok.
Oh, love it.
Oh, also we have a podcast, and so we are on YouTube as well.
Oh,
Is
wow.
it the same at the Inclusive Hive for all of them? Ooh.
I don't know.
We'll look
But
after
you
and
can
we'll make
you can link to all of our socials from the website. It's at the bottom of the website.
Okay, yes.
So
We'll have that.
So many ways to reach out and see what the Hive's all about. So make sure to go do that. But I think this wraps up our DM portion and Tanya's time on the show. So thank you so much, Tanya, for being a part of Serving
thank
813. We're so happy to have you today.
No, thank you for having me. It was fun.
It was amazing to learn about all of this. And yes, I can't wait to talk about it in our reflection segment.
Yes, so don't go anywhere because after this song, me and Lily will be reflecting today's show.
And we're back. Welcome back to Serving 813. Make sure to tune into live365.com every Tuesday from 5 to 6 p.m. to find ways to serve your community. Now, if you're just joining us, I'm one of your hosts, Lily Nisley, and we were just here with Tanya Whitlock from the Hive, but now it's just me and Ava.
Wow, what a show today.
Yes, wow. That was honestly inspiring. I got goosebumps at one point. Honestly, I'm just ready to become a busy bee after that.
Me too. Yeah, so I think it's a great time to reflect on today's show and all our favorite parts from Tanya and the Hive and everything she told us. I'd like to start, but this was on break, but she told us that one of her people in the Hive earlier, her name, I forgot her. It was
the fashion show girl?
Yes, the fashion show girl.
Wait, let me see. I have her name pulled up.
Okay, well, anyway, while she's finding that, the story was that Mattel made a Barbie after her, which is very crazy to see. It just shocks me. I know we keep talking about this, but the fact that the Hive was created 4 years ago and all the accomplishments it's already made with all the clients that Tanya has at the Hive. I mean,
I know, it's just like very organized. Like honestly, like I kept bringing this up ever since she told us, but just picturing like honestly how well like just beehive works in the wild, like with like bees coming in and out and they get like the product made. Like that is really what Tanya's whole operation is about. Like she has her 11 board members and they all like have a different specialty, she said. And then when she wants something done, like she just reaches out and like.
Yeah, the Hive is really, I feel like that's a perfect name for this. Like it really, I was like, at first going into this interview, I was like, the Hive, the Hive, what could that mean? And then as she talked more into it and what it was all about, I was like, oh, the Hive, that's really a great name. Well, I think that wraps up today's show, however, but we love Tanya. She was amazing. But anyway, if you haven't already, follow us at Serving813 to get updated on all episodes, to stream this episode or to stream past episodes. Or if you're even a nonprofit and you would like to be on the show, you can DM us and we'll get back to you. But anyway, we're serving your city one convo at a time. This is Ava Lamison signing off.
This is Lily Nisley signing off.
And before we go, we have 2 more shows until we're done. So
it's gone by so fast.
Yeah. So next week we have a Dress to Impress coming in.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting.
Then it'll be our final show. So
with all the hosts back together again. I feel like we keep like splitting up, but nope, we're going to have everyone here.
Oh, yes. Gang. All mics filled. Full circle moment. But anyway, we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.